Hey guys, it's the Opera Guy. I'm going to be doing a little cover for a friend of mine. He goes by Gazbot. He does like this online action activate, almost like a podcast kind of thing. I actually listen to it really often. He loves tokusatsu. He's an artist himself. Immortal Red Fox, Time Force Red, cosplayed as both. Love both characters. So this is a cover for his introduction. I really like it because he puts like a System of a Down vibe to it. I'm gonna try my hardest to get that down, but as much as I'd love to be Surge, I'm not. So let's see how that goes. Here we come, and there they go. Evil rise because they know the super soldiers, and they got cool clothes. You will swoon when you see our pose. Pinch in, energize, mascot, time to ride. Come by, the grease its eyes. Side B, vaporize.
That time, what time gap?
Hey Gazbot, hope you like it. Bro, hit me up if you need anything. For my future cosplays, I'd love to get some more prints. All right, bro. Love you. Bye.
Oh, how awesome was that? That was Will Britt, known as the Opera Guy, the Opera Ranger, the Opera Man, the super awesome guy, threw that out to us. Very fun. I would love to try to make that somehow, pull that audio out and make it our end credits or something. But at the very least, you all got to enjoy what I and the Big Dog have previously enjoyed. What's that? The Big Dog? Who's that? The Big Dog? Here's that. The Big Dog!
It's me. I'm here. Yeah, that was really solid. Gazbot shared that with me a couple weeks back. Shout out to the Opera Ranger. Thank you so much for doing that. Really cool to see, obviously, a different vocal take on the words, the music, the sounds that we've been hearing for the last year and a half or so. But speaking of music and sounds and things that we've heard a lot, what are we doing today, Gazbot?
Well, it seemed appropriate to use that intro from Will. Also appropriate, but in case anyone notices, my eye is a little funky. I scratched my cornea, so I'm okay. I'm not in pain, but I'm having difficulty seeing. So I can't see so well. Maybe we should focus on something I can hear.
Sounds good, Daredevil.
Like theme songs. Now, we had talked before about hiatus topics, and people threw out a bunch of good ones, and one of them was what is our favorite theme song or ranking favorite theme songs, and that's what we've decided to go with today. Now, here's the thing. I was trying to go back through the credits and see who suggested that, and I couldn't find it. Do you happen to remember, Big Dog?
I don't remember. I want to say it was from one of the live shows we did.
Yeah, I tried looking, but the good and bad thing is that we get a lot of comments, which we love, but it made it difficult to search through. I did see that our buddy, whose name I can never remember how to pronounce, I'm going to say Ciaran Porter?
Kieran,
duh. He gave a link to a tier maker, which is we're going to use for this. But who suggested the actual topic? I don't remember. And if it was you, please let us know so you get credit. I apologize for that. And I also pulled up a playlist so that we can show clips, not show, but play clips for those that don't remember or need a refresher or whatever. One thing I realized as we're talking though is I have the tier list. Let me go ahead and talk to them for a minute while I pull up the tier list.
So as Gazbot's putting up the tier list, for those of you that are unfamiliar with this, it's a trend that's been going around YouTube, social media platforms, things like that for the last couple of years, where you're putting things that you like into different categories. So with this, S tier is superb. It's A+ all the time, and that's where we're going to probably put a handful of these if I had to guess, but full transparency, Gazbot and I have not talked about these beforehand. Obviously, we've had some personal preferences over the years, but if I had to guess, we're going to have a handful of S's, a good amount of A's and B's, maybe a C or two, and hopefully little to no F's.
Well, here's my question. Also, this is literally called Tier Maker, which is what we're using. So credit where credit's due. You could find it. It's a free site you could use. I originally thought that we would talk and discuss and move things around on the board here, but I realize, does it make sense if we each had our own version open? Because we might not agree. And then how are we going to deal with that if we can't come to a consensus?
That's fair.
Now, the themes this is another thing that we're gonna have to consider, which they might not even all be in this list. I found a playlist that I'm showing you now that has every theme song from Mighty Morphin up until Beast Morphers, but it also has like the movie and it has Unworthy and a few other things mixed in there, which might not even be on the tier maker we have, but we could still discuss them certainly. But they are all in order. Yeah.
I think we'll do honorary mentions for those just because I don't know how to add on this tier list.
All right. So after a little bit of technical difficulties, basically I'm going to run both the board and the music. So there'll be a slight delay in between because we can't do it at the same time. But so you can see what we have here. Actually, Hyperforce is listed here, which is one of the, it's official, but not, it wasn't on TV. So I guess that one will be in the rankings. But have you even heard the Hyperforce theme song? Because you've not watched Hyperforce, have you? Or
a
little bit.
No, I watched a little bit of it. I may have heard it once or twice, but I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you want to just start playing through from the beginning, and as we we're not gonna play the whole thing, or do you want to try to guess? Oh, how about this? Why don't we try to guess where we think our rankings are, and then we'll go through and listen and see if it changes. What do you think of that?
So we're gonna pre-rank them?
Yeah. Because we
Okay.
have a preconceived notion in our head of what we think we like, and then when we listen to it might change.
All right.
So we'll start with Mighty Morphin. And
I'm going to do this full list and tell me when you're done.
Oh, we're not going to discuss it as we go? You're just going to blast through it real quick?
No, I'm putting all of them up right now, and then it's open to change as we do this.
But you're not putting them all in S. You're putting them where you think they go.
Yes.
Okay, but we're not going to discuss them. What I'm saying is we're not going to go, hey, Mighty Morphin, where do you think that should go? Well, it's pretty good. You're just going to put it up.
I'm putting them all up. I'm going to say where I had it before I listened, and then I'm going to move it if I need to.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're going to see mine, I guess. I guess everyone will see mine.
I'm not looking at yours until you say you're done.
Okay. All right.
I'm currently putting mine up right now.
I could stop sharing mine is what I could do. So
no, I just won't look.
because we want people to be able to see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Okay, these are. I can see people getting these. I can see these being controversial with some certain people.
I know mine. I'm also putting out of chronological order.
I'm going in chronological order, but I'm also not putting any in A. Like they will end up in A, but I'm like the ones I think might go to A. I'm sorry, S. The ones I think that might go to S, I'm putting in A, and then I'll compare them to each other. You know what I mean?
Okay.
No, I mean
Sure.
before we listen to it, I might, but just to give to myself.
The thing that I keep thinking of is the last time I heard most of these was from Pelike.
Me too. And there are some that I definitely like better because of that.
Exactly. Ooh, there's not a lot of room on here.
Yeah, the Pelike is definitely.
Oh wait, it moves. It moves. Yay! Okay.
What moves?
Didn't think I would have enough room because once I ran out of part of a row, I was like, does that mean I just have to force it in a different row? Nope, we're good.
That's weird. I guess Megaforce and Super Megaforce were slightly different songs because it doesn't have like Samurai and Super Samurai, for example. And I don't remember the difference.
I know. I don't either. I think
this is really hard to do.
Probably the same.
This is really hard to do.
I finished my initial already.
Oh man, this is much harder than I thought it was going to be honest. To do it without having it in front of me. I'm almost done.
Okay.
Okay, this is to be clear for the people watching. This is by no means definitive. This was like I have a minute. I'm doing it, forgetting what half of these are. So I am done.
Exactly.
Okay, you could look.
All right. Yours is gonna look so much different than mine.
I'm sure it is. I'm not even sure I agree with mine. I'm not even sure I agree with mine.
Yours is a lot more spread out than mine.
Well, yeah, because it's I don't have a like I don't.
There's F. Wow.
I could defend that one actually.
I have Alien higher because it's pretty much Mighty Morphin, but with
that's why it's F for me. It's the exact like many of them like are very.
Storm is F. Wow, this is diverse.
I think I wish you could share yours because you're just gonna have to tell us now what it is.
So this is gonna Gazbot, hold your oohs and ahs and whats until the end.
Wait, you can take a screenshot. You could save it and then send it to me on Facebook, and then I could share it.
guess I could do that.
Yeah.
Here, let me just put it chronologically really quick.
I thought you were all done.
I did, but I put them in a weird order.
I mean,
'Cause
mine are not chronological either.
No. I mean, on the same like tier, if that makes sense.
It does, but it's unnecessary because mine are not chronological that way. Look, I
Well,
have
it
Jungle
doesn't matter
Fury.
because I already did it. So shut
All right. Shut my mouth! You are full of vinegar and sass today, young man.
well.
All right, let me know when you send it through Facebook, and I will. I could share.
How do I? Let's see.
It says save, download, whatever.
Oh, save, download. Got it.
Yeah, and then just send it to me via.
Oh, that thing. The save. Oh, log in now to save your tier list. Cool.
Oh, do you know how to do a screen? No, you don't know how to do a screenshot. Okay, let's just tell me. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Once again, I want to be clear that this would have gone a lot smoother if it wasn't for Big Dog's continual technical problems.
I know, awful. So starting at S, working my way down.
Okay.
Mighty Morphin, S tier.
Okay.
A is In Space and Jungle
Wait,
Fury.
Mighty Morphin is the only one on S?
Right now.
Okay. Sorry.
In Space and Jungle Fury are A.
Okay.
B is Alien Rangers, Zeo, Turbo, Time Force, Wild Force, SPD.
Okay.
C tier, and some of the the only reason one of these is on here is because I couldn't tell you what it was until I hear it again.
Right.
So Lightspeed Rescue, Lost Galaxy, those need to be switched. Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, Hyperforce, Ninja Steel, Beast Morphers.
Wow. So most of them are on C.
Most are on C tier. D tier, Mystic Force, Overdrive, Samurai, Megaforce, Super Megaforce. F tier, RPM.
Wow. My favorite is how you only have one S and one F. I think it's funny though that I was ranking Alien Rangers lowest because it's basically Mighty Morphin with what one word changed, and Samurai and Megaforce are also very, very similar but changed more. Yet you're ranking Aliens above them.
Yeah, so Samurai and Megaforce and Super Megaforce is kind of like that meme that has been going around of like, hey, mom or dad, can we go get this thing? No, we have that at home. This is it at home. Hey, can we get Mighty Morphin? No, we have that at home. Super Megaforce.
Right, but how is that not Alien Rangers?
Because Alien Rangers is just like if they forgot to give you cheese on your burger. It doesn't ruin it, but it's not as good.
That's okay. I don't agree with that at all. Like, I'm giving points for them being a little bit more creative, at least. But that being said, I don't know how confident with your lineup you are. I'm not confident in mine at all. Half of these, like Wild Force, I can't even remember what the theme song is for.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's one of my favorites.
But I'm saying I watched the whole season. I know it. But like in the moment, I'm like, hi, Wild Force. It's Power Rangers Wild Force. That's not how it goes.
No. Yeah, we're gonna hear it. I'm not even gonna try to butcher it right now.
All right, so let's start with Mighty Morphin. I'm gonna just play it, and we'll see.
So I saw on your profile that you like to
stupid commercials. Why is there commercials?
Oh yes.
Let's skip this. Okay.
Mamma mia!
All right, this is the one that we all know. This one's only a minute long, so we might end up playing most of it.
I've heard enough. I know where it lies.
All right. So you're leaving yours at S.
Yes.
I will move mine up to A. I don't think it's S, but I'll move it up to A. I think that I wasn't giving enough credit.
My favorite version of the Mighty Morphin theme song is from the movie.
I think that's on this playlist, actually.
Good.
Right here.
It has a great... Yeah.
I don't remember this at all. I haven't seen the movie in quite a while.
I listened to this CD so much, I scratched it.
This whole opening, I wouldn't even know this was Power Rangers based on this opening. This is a long opening. I really don't like how long. Can you still hear it when I take it off the screen? Okay. This is terrible. I hate this. It's taking forever. doesn't sound as good to me.
Soft spot for me, man.
I'm waiting for the lyrics to kick in. All right, now it's starting to sound like the actual song at least. When that whole intro, I feel like I wanted to say go, just go. Oh, it's like the full song. All right, let me skip ahead a little bit. It's 5 minutes long. All right, this is. I'm glad you like this. This is not as good as the TV version.
It's not a theme song per se, but it's great. And I love
And
it.
it's not on the list, so we don't have to rank it lucky for you because I would not rank it as high as you would apparently. All right, let's. Alien Rangers is the exact same song. That's even.
I just want to know what the difference is.
Just that this is Alien Rangers, as far as I can tell. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Here we go. I feel like it's the exact same music.
It's 100% the same, and they just
and they just karaoke it. Yeah, they didn't even re-sing. That's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, I am confident that that's F. I am absolutely confident. It's not even well done. That is the cheapest, laziest garbage. No, they didn't even.
All right. I'll move mine down to D.
Okay, good.
The only reason it's D and not F is because it made me laugh.
That's a fair reason. It has some entertainment value.
Oh
okay.
man, that was
next,
awesome.
That's bad. That's worse than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so here comes Zio, which I think starts very similar. No, okay. Oh, Zio, now we're up for more. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move mine up. What did you have yours at?
You. I have mine at B.
I'm putting mine up to A because that I just immediately wanted to sing along and I got jazzed up. And it
I
does
like to sing along to even the ones I don't like, though. That's
no,
the
but it
problem.
does what it's supposed to do too. Where like putting myself back in that moment of it's not here's the New Year's theme of whatever the Power Rangers is going to be of like oh my gosh the Power Rangers, the only Power Rangers we've ever known, have new powers. And it's like stronger than. And it's like, oh, my, how can they be stronger? Like,
it is pretty great. Yeah.
So,
all right.
yeah.
I'll move mine to A.
Yeah.
You sold me. You sold me on it. I love this next one a lot.
All right. The next one is Turbo. I couldn't remember Turbo. I kept thinking of RPM.
I do because I used to watch the movie all the time.
Oh, wait. I remember it now. Okay. Power Rangers roar, Turbo Charge for more. I am definitely thinking of Pelican though, because I want it to be a little faster.
I know.
All right, let me stop that. All right, so that's Turbo. So what did you have it at?
B.
Yeah, I had it at C. I'm putting it up to B. I almost want to put it to A, but I feel like I'm going to make everything A at this point.
No, it's not an A. I'm sorry. I like the way I do it, and we've done this in other rankings. Would you put it over Zio?
No.
Then it's not an A.
Here's the thing. Well, no, it has to be equal to Zio. It doesn't have to be better than Zio.
It's not even equal to Zio, though.
Here's the thing. It might be as good or better of a catchy song, but Zio captures the essence of that season and that moment in time better. So I think Zio is like a better, just like a time capsule of that. Whereas Turbo is just kind of like a fun, song.
Yeah, Turbo might get stuck in your head more, but I prefer Zio. So let's.
I'm leaving it in B, but that's okay.
This next one, every time that
the
intro.
Next one, I have it as S, and you have it what as A?
Yeah, I have it as A.
All right, let's go in space.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rangers in space!
Ever before. Rangers. Power Rangers. Power Rangers! Power Rangers! Go, 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 fly!
Power Rangers!
Go!
Power Rangers! Power Rangers!
Just go!
In space.
All right. Here's the problem. I'm having a lot of fun. I want to put them all in S.
I know.
Because it's just fun to jam out to them.
I know. I'm going to keep mine at A. I also love, mostly for the audience in the future and when we watch a playback,
Right.
because of the delay, you and I are hitting the same like beats when we hear it, but you and I are slightly off. So you're like, Power Rangers! And I'm like, Power Rangers!
Yeah. It's like if we did that on purpose, it'd be great. We're always like half a second off, like
I
this
know,
crazy time.
but we're not. That's the problem. Nobody knows how synced we really are.
All right, I'm gonna put. Yeah, I'll put it in space.
I'm keeping mine at A.
I have it at S. I'm thinking if I should move it down to A or keep it at S. I'm gonna leave it at S for now. For
Okay.
now, with the idea that when I hear some more, maybe
Yeah.
All right. So after In Space, we got Lost Galaxy coming up with all the hits. Far away, deep in space. Oh, Power Rangers. All right, I have that.
Right.
I have it at A, and I think it belongs at A. What?
I had it at C, and it belongs at B.
C. C. How was that ever a C? Did you forget what it sounded like?
Because I didn't remember. No, like I remember what it sounded like, but it's one of those things that, like, I think subconsciously, because whenever I would listen to it in the Mega Mix from Pelike, shout out to Pelike, go listen if you haven't, because it'll make you love these and remember them even more. But like, it was always coming off of In Space, so it was kind of like the calm before we get back up to the ones that I love, and I'm like, oh, it's fine.
I feel
but
like it pairs
on its own,
perfectly
I'm
with
like,
In Space.
pretty good.
But I think it pairs
pretty
perfectly
well.
with In Space too. All right. Well, I still think it's crazy that you ever thought that was a C. So let's see. Next is Lightspeed Rescue, which I think Lightspeed. What did I give Lightspeed? I gave Lightspeed an A, and I'm worried I overestimated because I like that season, and I think I was like, oh yeah, that's a good season. So I kind of forget. Let's go.
I have mine at C.
Lightspeed, Lightspeed Rescue. The signal is calling. Our planet is falling. The danger will test you. Better make it a Lightspeed Rescue. Power Rangers, Lightspeed Rescue. Power Rangers, Lightspeed Rescue. Power Rangers, Lightspeed Rescue.
You know what?
Yeah. What?
This is the Pelike effect. His makes it so much cooler.
Yep. Yeah, I had it at A. It is not A.
Yeah.
Pelike's version is better, and I do like that season. But I'm gonna put it at B, but it might even be a C.
I'm leaving mine at C. I think I was right on the money on that one.
Yeah, I hate to say it because Pelike makes it awesome, and I do like that season, but it's not as
And it's a fine theme, but we're going against some
Well, and C
bangers.
is fine. C is satisfactory. C is average. But yeah.
It's one of those things where it's unfortunate because so many of these are so iconic and classic that like you got to have the one that starts the decline, and unfortunately it's Lightspeed. Out of all the ones we have so far, not including the weird shoehorned Alien Rangers.
Right. I agree in terms of the theme song. I do not believe that season was declined in the show.
No, absolutely. I'm just talking music alone right now.
All right, so here comes the next one, Time Force.
Time Force! Time Force! Power Rangers! Race to
Man!
Wait, this is the best part.
I know. All right. I have a question.
Yeah.
I haven't looked this up. Are they saying time for Power Rangers Time Force, or are they saying time Force Power Rangers Time Force?
I think it's time for Power Rangers Time Force.
That's what I want
might
it to be.
Time Force, Power Rangers Time Force. Who knows?
Because I think if it's time for Time Force, that's a better lyric.
Yeah.
I have that at B, and I am going to leave it at B. I think it's
I
a little
have
bit
it at
better than
B as
Lightspeed
well.
Rescue.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest. I enjoy it. This is another Pelican effect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if I demote it before the end.
I almost want to put it down to C. The reason I'm not is because it's not as good as I remember. Again, good season, good Pelican cover, but I do like it better than Lightspeed Rescue, the theme.
Yes.
So if Lightspeed Rescue C, I guess it's B. That's where I'm at right now.
We'll see.
I'm also trying to be fair because I've talked before, but Time Force is a good season, but I
Yes.
found it disappointing because I just expected it to be awesome, and I love time travel stories, and there's no time travel in it, which bummed me out. But the opening credits show all this time travel that doesn't happen. So I actually hate the opening credits. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to not let that affect my decision making because you know.
I got you.
Okay, so after Time Force, okay, this is the one I literally cannot remember how it goes. Wild Force. Let's see.
This is a soft spot for me.
Power Rangers. All right. That I have. Okay, I totally didn't remember, which is why it is at D. It's definitely not D. It's
Yeah, not
at
at
least a. It's at least a C. Oh, you know what? I realized I could put up the. This is my current board as it's being moved around. What do you have it at? B.
I have it at B.
Do I like it better than Time Force?
I do.
If I move it to B, then Time Force goes down to C. Is what happens. Which is what I'm going to do.
All right.
I think here's the thing with Time Force. I think Time Force has highs and lows. There's parts of it like you're like here comes the good part, but until then I'm like like
Here's a reason why I love it as well. This is one of the seasons that I remember where the theme song was used in the episode to like build the tension and kind of like
Right.
hope for them. Where Time Force, you're like, I heard it in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. I do like when they incorporate theme songs into
Yeah,
the
where
actual
Cole would go out and be like, "Oh guys, let's do it for the Earth." And then
Wild
it's
Force.
just- yeah,
Yeah.
Wild Force power, and then they're using the big old spear that shoots a laser because
Yeah, I was surprised how much I liked Wild Force. Not that it's my favorite season, but I kind of went into it thinking I wouldn't. A, because I knew that's when Disney started coming in, and
Yeah.
that's one of my least favorite suits. The helmets are okay, but I never liked like just
kind
the
of
stripe.
basic.
Yeah.
But it has one of my favorite villain suits, which is the other hard part too.
Oh, Zanaku.
Danaku. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. I like all the villains from that season actually, but Zanaku's amazing.
Oh, he's a cut above. All right.
Agreed.
Now we're going into
Okay.
official Disney era.
Okay, now I have Ninja Storm. I don't really remember. I have it as F, and I think it's because like Wild Force, I don't really remember it, and I don't love Ninja Storm. I think
It's fine across the board.
well, here's the thing. This is what I think happened with Ninja Storm. I think it was an underrated season that people forgot about, didn't talk about, and then people were like, "Oh my gosh, Ninja Storm! It's amazing!" And and it had this resurgence of people talking about how good it was. So when I saw it, it wasn't the underrated. It was like people had talked it up, and I'm like, "Okay, let's check this out." And I was like, So I think that's what happened with me.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the theme song, so let's go. That I do like Cam, to be clear.
Part of it before you play it is I think a whole different generation of people watched it once it was on the Disney affiliated networks as opposed to Fox.
Wasn't it original? Oh, you mean you're not saying Ninja Storm specifically, you're saying Power Rangers.
Yeah, because it went from on Saturday mornings on Fox to
Right.
ABC and then later
Right.
on ABC Family, where it was just Fox and Fox Family. And that's part of the reason I think there was the shift of people like, oh no, it was my first Power Rangers. I love it. And I also
Right.
watched Mighty Morphin because they did that weird kind of reboot that we're not going to talk about.
Well, that happened a couple of years later, but yeah.
Oh, if there's a theme for that, I would hear it and gladly put it at F.
I will if it's on this list, I'll play it. But I think it was just the same theme song from what I recall.
Maybe.
All right, let's do Ninja Storm. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pelican makes it better. Oh, whoops. I moved the wrong one. All right. I'll move it up to a C, but it comes on strong, but I feel like the vocals are weak or something.
Pelican,
Pelican
effect, baby. Pelican
because
effect.
it's got a driving beat. It's like boom, and then like storm is from.
That's why I was just like,
gone.
Power Rangers, ninjas go. You just jam to it. Not to pat myself on the back. My list has not changed very much, and I'm kind of proud of not being.
Fine. I went into
wavering.
it saying like I don't know what I'm doing.
No. I'm not knocking you. I'm just surprised that I'm not having this weird turmoil of where should I put Ninja Storm? C, right where I put it. It's just fine and dandy. Does what it needs to do.
Does what it needs to do.
This next one I might bump down because I don't remember it, nor do I remember liking it.
I might. Where do I have it now? I have it at C. I might bump it up because I feel Dino Thunder as a season is C for me, but I do remember almost never skipping the opening, so I might bump it up to a B after we listen to it again. Distance, see them coming closer with the forces of ages. Centuries come by, protectors of the light, defenders wanna fight. Dino Rangers roar, Power Rangers soar, save us from this evil Rangers. Power Rangers, Dino Thunder.
I'm good.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, sometimes it takes me a minute to get it. I'm gonna leave it at C. I do like it, but I think I liked kind of the opposite of Time Force. I like the opening theme, like the credit montage, just really hypes me up. But yeah, I think C is yeah.
It's chicken noodle soup. I enjoy it. It's not my favorite dish, but when it's there, it's there.
That's those are words. Okay. Now this one was tough. What did I put this? I put this at S, which is not. This is SPD. It is absolutely not S.
Oh, SPD's next?
Dino Thunder SPD, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I always get when SPD and Overdrive come in. That's where I always get confused.
Okay.
Or not Overdrive, sorry, Mystic Force.
Mystic Force is after SPD. But yeah, I put it at S, which is 100% wrong. It's at S because it's the season I'm watching right now, and I'm really liking it. So I'm like, yeah, it's great, But now let's listen to the theme song and see how far. What did you have it at?
I have it at... Oh, I have it at B.
Okay, well, let's see if mine drops or yours moves.
SPD emergency!
I can already tell I'm wrong.
Power Rangers SPD, Power Rangers to the rescue.
Power Rangers SPD, Power Rangers to the rescue.
Heroes on your side, heroes for all time, not to save the universe. No matter where you are,
I got one. There we go. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Other way.
Got it. Yeah, it's definitely not S, but it is very good. I'm gonna move it down to A.
I'm gonna put mine for B for now. Or no, sorry, A for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna put mine down to A. It's really tough to separate the song from the visuals of the opening credits and the quality of the show. It's really, really hard. And the Pelican thing.
This is the hardest part for me. My favorite part of the song, which is why I just bumped it to A, is used in almost every episode beautifully. It's the drums. It's the drums to let you know that it's about to go down. When they're just, all right, you're going down. I'm like, what? We did it.
Somebody's getting judged. All right, so Mystic Force. Now, Mystic Force, longtime viewers know that I have been filling in the gaps of my Ranger knowledge. It's pretty good at this point. Mystic Force is the only season of all Power Rangers that I've literally not watched one episode of. So I have not seen this season. I may have watched the opening credits once on YouTube or something, but I don't remember that. So really, I'm judging this just on the song.
Yep.
And what do I have it on now? I have it on I have it on D, which is basically because I don't remember it and I don't know much about it. So that really doesn't mean much of anything. What do you have it at right now?
D.
And you have seen this season, at least part of it.
Half of it.
Okay, so let's see. Long opening. Ooh.
I want you to just use our faces right here for some future clip in a video.
Pelike is a genius who makes everything sound better.
He is a master.
It's just it's like so low key. Like I guess we're gonna go be Power Rangers. Like
So if we have time later, let's look up the original Ron Wasserman rock mix for this, which I much prefer.
If you find it and send me a link, and I'll throw it up. But it definitely, I'm not moving it above D, but I wonder if it deserves to be an F. I can't say it's as bad
in F
as,
so that RPM's not alone.
I can't say it's as bad as Alien Rangers though, because at least it's a new song. I don't know if anything could go in F with. I'm gonna leave it in D, but I might move it. That is bad. Here's hoping that the season is awesome despite having a bad theme song and surprise me. All right, so that was Mystic Force. Operation Overdrive. We know it's your favorite season. I've seen the first however many episodes of it, but not much.
That's why I got this shirt, because it's from Overdrive.
I know. You don't have to tell me. I mean, we all know. It's nice that you have to keep repping for your favorite season, but okay.
Hey,
so let's listen to the theme song. It's already a million times better than Mystic Force. I can tell you that.
We're Rangers, Operation Overdrive.
This is the next part that I don't love.
Yeah. I don't mind that it's like spoken word. I don't like this guy's voice though. Yeah. Okay, here's what's happening. I'm going to leave Overdrive at D. I'm going to move Mystic Force down to F. Because Overdrive is definitely better than Mystic Force.
I told you, man. I did the same thing. I have Overdrive at D, and I'm keeping it at D. It has parts that could be better, I think, if they played
the opening. I like the do. Like the beat is good. I don't like the guy's voice, and then boom, and it stinks because had I listened to this while I watched the show, I might have a different opinion. But a lot of these, my first introduction was Pelike, and it's like, oh, here's how you could arrange it and make this song sound better. It's kind of like seeing, like, I never used to like Aquaman's costume, and then I saw like more modern artists draw it with like where it looked like metal and scaly and the higher collar. I'm like, that's pretty good. No, it's still a bad costume. Good artists just know how to make it look good, is what it is. And that's exactly, Pelike is like, oh, I can take this bad song and make it sound good, is what's happening. It's crazy because it's not great, but Mystic Force so bad. I've always heard Mystic Force is bad, like the theme song. People didn't like it, but I mean, maybe, and here's the thing: people down in the comments might be like, "You guys are crazy. We completely disagree with this or that or that." Feel free to tell us and defend your position. If you're like, "No, here's what Mystic Force is good," I'll listen. But my gut reaction is just it sounds like boring.
Just to clarify, we are talking about the themes. Some of these theme songs we don't like. We still like the seasons, or we
has
love
nothing
the
to do with the
season, vice versa. So
just the song,
just songs.
If your argument for why Mystic Force is a good theme song is that you love that season, that's not a valid argument. If you say, well, no, because the beat is good, or like I don't know if you could. I mean, or you could just say, hey, I just like it. That's fine too. If you could just say, hey, I like this better, or I don't like the one you like, those are valid, but it can't have anything to do with what you think of the season, because then everybody's favorite season would be the best song, and that makes no sense.
Unless, kind of like my point, where I was like, I like SPT, and it gets bonus points because they utilize the theme song throughout the show.
Yeah, but if you hated that theme song, you'd hate that.
Yeah, I know, but if some people like it and that's the reason why they're saying it's up, I'd at
Right.
least understand.
Okay, now here the next one is Jungle Fury, which I have at S, obviously. So let's see. Let's see
I
if that
haven't heard
changes.
this in a while.
What do you have it at?
I think I have it at A. Let me look. Yeah, I have it at A.
Okay. At the beginning, it tricks you. You're like, ooh, do I like this? I don't know. Jungle Fury. Yeah. I can't stop.
Evil Daishi Clan.
Go away. See the day.
All right, you convinced me. Throw it up there.
What do you
Get it
have
on
it
up.
What? So you had it at what?
At A. It's up in S. Here's why.
Oh wow!
I
Wow!
love, this, I love the season. Here's the thing. Few Power Ranger songs can evoke such emotion just from the song itself. Like when we first started watching it, we watched it around the same time.
Mhm.
Like before any of it, you go watch the worst episode of Jungle Fury, and there were one or two stinkers /
Oh, yeah.
like less good ones. Every single start, you're like, I'm getting the theme song.
Yeah.
I at least got something for my troubles.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
went to the dentist, had a cavity removed, you know, got a nice little sugar-free lollipop on the way out. Tastes delicious. You know,
I
something.
haven't gotten a sugar-free lollipop or a sticker from the dentist in forever.
Well,
And I know
you
it's not
need
just
to ask.
it's not just because I'm an adult. Like I don't see a drawer of things to choose from. Do they just not do that anymore?
My dentist used to give us stuff, and
Okay.
when they retired, and the current dentist that I go to that took over from them, I think they still do stuff for the kids.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, pick a better dentist. But man, yeah, I just love that theme song. And this is
Great.
one where also Pelican's version is cool. I also just love the original one. So
Well, that's-
on all fronts, it's just
Going
great.
back to my previous one, that's like a Spider-Man's costume, which was good from the first time it was drawn. So you get a better artist, great, but it's just good to begin with. So yeah. Whew. I was worried. I was gonna slide, but now it's good. All right, so we're getting almost out of the Disney era now. What do we got left here? Oh wait, did we do this out of order? Oh no, okay, RPM.
No, we're at RPM. Which,
Okay. I don't think I dislike the theme song as much as other people seem to, but maybe I'm not remembering it. So here's RPM.
This is also not Pelican RPM.
A computer virus has built armies of robotic soldiers and taken control
I have
of
it
our
at
world.
B right now.
But there is still one place we can be safe. The domed city of Corinth. And the only hope we have left is...
This is the only good part of the song. When they're not talking. Those are the only lyrics.
I can't. It's definitely not good. I can't decide if it's. Here's the thing.
If you put it in C, that's insulting to
I can't.
every other
Right. I
theme
can't put
song.
it in C because the other ones we've talked about are better. But I don't know if it's as bad as Overdrive. I feel like
It's
like
worse than Overdrive.
I think parts of Overdrive I like, parts I don't like, and I think that's the same with RPM. Yeah.
Here's why. Here's my argument, and do what you want.
Yeah.
Overdrive, the reason we don't like it is they tried for something and missed.
Right.
RPM is arguably lazier than Alien Rangers.
Nothing is lazier than Alien Rangers. Okay, it stays at D because there's no way it's I would rather listen to that. I would rather listen to RPM than Mystic Force or Alien Rangers.
I'd
any
rather
day of the
listen to
week.
Mystic Force than RPM.
That's crazy because RPM is basic and it's just kind of a beat and it's not super inspired, but Mystic Force makes me want to take a nap. An angry nap. Like I'm angry at this nap.
I still prefer it over RPM.
Well, it's your right to be wrong.
We stand together. Get in gear.
And how does Mystic Force go?
Maybe if
I don't
Eddie
remember.
Vedder- maybe if
it's boring.
Eddie Vedder did the RPM theme, I might like it.
How would that
Just like,
sound?
Power Rangers RPM. Get in gear.
That's Eddie Vedder.
That's
Do it
my
again.
best. That's my best impression of Eddie Vedder.
He sounds so angry. Power Rangers, get it! Like, it's like
Get
really
in
hard
gear.
stuff.
We stand together.
Well, how does he sound? Like, I gotta think of another song. Don't call me daughter. Power Rangers, I'll be here. Oh,
Jeremy spoken. Power Rangers RPM. We're getting gear.
Let's not have Eddie Vedder sing that song.
Watch Eddie Vedder's company's gonna freak.
Yeah,
they're like,
that'll be
that sounded eerily similar to
too
Sir Eddie
similar
Vedder.
to Sir. He's been knighted, even though he's American. Okay. So that was
Dumpster fire. Let's move on.
That was the final Disney theme song. I don't have, and in between there was the reboot of Mighty Morphin, which we don't have. So the first Nick one, which is what got me back on the Power Rangers gravy train, which is Samurai. It says Samurai and Super Samurai, which I think was the same. So we'll click that one. And where do I have it? I have it at C because A, nostalgia, and B, I thought it was just kind of an average good theme song. Although, well, let's listen. You'll notice they actually re-recorded it with different instruments and arrangements. It's not, I like the vocals. Samurai forever. I feel very comfortable calling that a C.
I'm gonna move mine from D to C. It was better than the other things that I put at D.
Yeah, and also it Megaforce is probably gonna be judged more harshly, but this was the first season to say, hey, let's bring it back to the original. And so while you could say that's lazy or whatever, it's like it had been like 20 years or whatever, like since they'd done that, and they were rebranding it, and a new company, Saban came back. So it all made sense, and I think it's a very good cover. It's like 70% cover, 80% cover, and then they threw a little bit of Samurai in. So I want to put it higher. I want to put it B because of my nostalgia for the show, but realistically, I think it's definitely average. I think it's C. Now, Megaforce, notwithstanding how good or bad the season is going to suffer from the fact that whatever fun throwback nostalgia Samurai gets for being the first one to do it, Megaforce doesn't get that same pass. So let's see what they do. Even the new part is copying what Samurai did. I realize. I do like the beginning.
Yeah.
I do like the beginning though. The mega, but I think I got to move it down to D.
I actually was okay with it. It was a C.
If it didn't come right after Samurai, I would give it a C. But it's.
I think there's enough differences that, if anything, I kind of like Megaforce more than Samurai.
I'm giving Samurai points for being first. I mean, not first of to do that ever, but the first.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I think they polished some of the things that Samurai did. Like one of my least favorite parts of Samurai is Samurai Power Ranger. Like it's rushed. Theirs is at least like Mega Force all together. Like it doesn't feel rushed in the lyrics, even though they're super basic.
I guess I didn't notice it feeling rushed in Samurai. It's a fair point, but it didn't bother me. Let's listen to Super Megaforce because I don't remember what's different about it, but they have it listed separately here. This part I like. Power Rangers Megaforce.
Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers.
Sounds the same.
Rangers forever.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. All right, so I don't even know what to do with that because
I would just remove it from the list if I had the option.
yeah, because the other super seasons don't. Yeah, how do I get it out of here?
Like, I think the only reason it's on here is it's the only super season that had a different costume.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't figure out how to remove it. I'm gonna leave it.
I'm putting it at F.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, just
Well, no,
I mean,
no. I'm gonna leave it at D because to not create confusion because it's the same song. So why would I get a different ranking? But I'm putting both of them at D, and not even that they're that terrible, but it's just the same as Mighty Morphin with the differences that Samurai gave it, except for a cool opening. Yeah, I'm doing that. Okay, so next is Dino Charge, and my recollection of Dino Charge is what you're saying about Megaforce, where it took we're doing Mighty Morphin, but they polished it and made it like actually better and different. So let's see. And it's got a cool drum opening, yeah.
Power Rangers, Power Rangers. No, it's 100% different.
You're right. It just brings back the
Trying to break the chains that divide. There is only one chance to take the right stance.
This is the part I was thinking of. That it's the same. Go Power Rangers! Don't you ever stop. I had it at B. I'm putting it down to C. I think it's fine, but I remembered it being better than it is.
So,
and I think that's because coming off of Samurai and Megaforce, I'm like, oh, it's different. But
yeah, I'm gonna keep it at C, but it's a higher end C, which makes it like a C plus because I like it better than like Ninja or Samurai and Megaforce, Super Megaforce, but like it's not on the same level as like Turbo or Lost Galaxy or Wild Force and stuff. So like that's yeah.
All right. So the next one is the Power Rangers 2017, which I believe was the movie, which isn't on our list, but let's listen to it anyway. I honestly don't even really remember it.
I don't either.
Okay.
I will once you play it. Oh, a little bit.
I remember. I think they used this in the game, right? No. Are there lyrics, or is it just instrumental?
I think it's just instrumental.
I'm gonna skip ahead. Yeah, I think it's just instrumental. It's fine, but it's.
From my recollection, they used it when they got their Zords, like to finally work.
Oh, sorry. I closed the window that had the playlist, so I'm gonna have to find that again real quick. Oh boy, it's in my history.
So while Gazbot's getting that up, so right now we have left we have left the rest of the rest of the, I guess, Neo Saban era / Nick era, where we have Ninja Steel, we have Beast Morphers, and then Hyperforce, which I'm excited to listen to again because I honestly don't remember it. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty surprised. My list so far has remained pretty consistent, which I was not thinking was going to happen. But it's one of those things where, like, I'm trying so hard not to have my bias of like how I like the seasons to affect where I'm putting them. Like Wild Force, I'm like, I want to put you at A, but you don't beat In Space or SPD.
Right. Okay, I found the list. My recollection of Hyperforce is I have it at S right now. Now, that might be ridiculous. It might be that I was just so excited to find that show and be like, this is crazy. And and then it had a theme song that was actually good, so I haven't listened to it in quite a while, but I put it at S originally. That is not the next one up though. The next one up is Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel. So let me unmute this, which I think I have. Where do I have it? I have it at D.
I have it at C.
I have it at D because it's another one I don't really remember super well. I mean the Ninja Steel. I remember that, but like, how's the rest of it go? And is it kind of another Mighty Morphin clone? I don't remember. So
No,
it's at
it's like a
D,
Super Mega Force clone.
which is a Mighty Morphin clone. So it was at D, but that might change. So let's give it a listen here.
Crushing evil with all of might to get a ninja steel. Never give up without a fight to get a ninja steel. Setting up for what is right to get a ninja steel.
I'm comfortable leaving that at D. It's another sort of kind of Mighty Morphin, kind of just not high energy. Like, it seems like it should be high energy, but I don't feel it.
I'm leaving it at C. The only reason why is because the main reason I want to put it at D is it reminds me why I don't like that season.
I'm not even judging it on the season. Like, I just think the song is not great or inspired. Like, I feel like with the Neo Saban Nick era, like I said, it was sort of like, okay, here's Samurai doing its thing, and then Megaforce is still doing that thing, and then Dino Charge is like, okay, we're gonna make it a little different, and then Ninja Steel's like I don't know. I don't think any of those theme songs from the Neo Saban era are great. And I think Ninja Steel is.
You know what? This is the biggest shakeup we've had on this list. I am putting all of the Nick era that we've reviewed thus far, except for Dino Charge in D.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, that's the same as I have, except I put Samurai in C. So it's actually not that big of a shakeup.
Well, because I think I prefer Dino Charge over all of them, and
Right.
all
Dino
the rest
Charge
I
is
feel
the
similarly.
Dino Charge is the most different in a good way, I think. Like, the difference is it chose, you know. But I do like the homage from Samurai, and I like, you know, I'm trying to be objective. I don't know if I'm succeeding, but I feel like Samurai is just like a really good cover of the original one. And once I like that, whatever. So, okay, fair enough. So that's Ninja Steel. So that is the end of the Neo Saban Nick era, sort of, because we go in. Oh wait, what? Oh, okay, so after that we have Hyperforce. So like I said, I explained why I had it S. What did you have it at?
I have it at C just because I don't recall it at all.
Okay,
I just
for
put
those
it
that don't
middle
know,
to-
Hyperforce is on Twitch, and you can see them on YouTube as well. Hyper RPG is a channel that does role-playing games, and they, stream it. And they came up with a Power Rangers role-playing game, and they had a team called Hyperforce, and it had a dedicated player base, including Paulie. I always get his name wrong. Schreier. Bulk. It had Bulk, and it had Ninja Steel Blue. Sidarso. Peter Sidarso, thank you, as the Red Ranger. Had Andre Meadows, Black Nerd Comedy, as the Blue Ranger, and then it had Christina V and another personality who I didn't know before that show that I'm blanking on her name. And then later Yoshi shows up, and that's the core team. But then every episode they have a guest star that is one of the Rangers, like Jason David Frank or Aaron Cahill or something like that. So it's a really awesome show, which is semi-canon, like it was authorized by Saban, and some of those characters have shown up in the comics, not as main characters, but in the background or on a cover. So it's pretty awesome. That if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. And a lot of people say it should be a cartoon. I agree, and get those same people to do the voices for it. It would be amazing. That being said, let's hear the theme song right now.
Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers.
Okay. This is not S. It's definitely not S. I was wrong.
The time for action is here. Crashing down on the fear. Breaking down, make darkness disappear. Go, go, Power Rangers. You will set things right. Go, go,
This isn't even how I remember it sounding.
Sounds like Dino Charge.
Rangers to tie. Hyperforce on the front line. Power Rangers.
It does sound like Dino Charge. I don't remember it
Like
sounding
the same
that bad.
beats too.
Yeah. No, it's not very good, actually.
You will never stop.
Yeah. No, you
on the
are
front
right.
lines. Yeah.
Later on, if we have time. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a long episode. We had to stop and start a new one. The new one we have started is 54 minutes. So we're not going to have time later on for whatever I was about to say. I'm going to move this down to D, actually, from S to D,
Wow.
which that is the most proof of my objectivity because I loved Hyperforce and I just watched it and got hyped. But I also think it was like a short little clip and maybe they jammed up the bass or something because I remember being like, yeah. And then the show started and just listening to it in a vacuum, I'm like, it's not, D.
I'm going to move it over only because if I'm comparing it to Dino Charge, I prefer Dino Charge.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Okay, so Beast Morphers, the last official current one that we have. And what do I have it at right now? I have it at I think I have it as C as well. So here is Beast Morphers.
Power Rangers. It's Morphin time. For justice we fight with Beast Morphin line. Together we rise.
So, Power Rangers.
It's tough.
It's definitely not better than a C, but it might be a D. I enjoy the season and have had an extra good time doing the show and reviewing it with you and everything. So I have a lot of good feelings associated with this season, but it's another just sort of redo of Mighty Morphin. Not exactly, but it's playing on those themes. There's nothing specially great about it.
I'm leaving it at C.
I'm looking at what's in C is Time Force, Ninja Storm, Samurai, Dino Charge, Dino Thunder, Lightspeed Rescue. With the exception, I feel like it fits in with Dino Charge the most. I feel like C needs to be like C minus, C and C plus because a lot of these don't quite match up with each other, but I can't put them higher or lower. I'll leave it at C, but like you said, I feel like it's at the lower end of C. It's at the lower end of C. Now, that brings us up to date, but on this list, there's also the Unworthy theme song. So let's just throw that on and see where we would theoretically put that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Across the land, it's our last stand. It's in our Rangers unworthy, standing tall. We will not run, 'cause we're not done. What's to be won? Our Rangers unworthy.
Feels very 80s in a good way to me.
The unworthy, our Rangers unworthy. My destiny, the unworthy.
I feel like it starts really strong, but then the middle, like, kind of, it's tough because it's always like with theme songs, they're not meant to be songs that you listen to all the way through. You're supposed to listen to like 20 seconds of it to get you jammed up, and I feel like the beginning does that really well. And then when it gets into the verses, I'm like, all right, can we start the show? If I'm basing it on, I mean, I would be at least a C. Put it that way, it'd be at least a C. I don't know if it's tough. It's unbalanced to me. I guess I'd make it a C because again, it is also sort of a remake. A C, a high C. Yeah.
I'm going to put it B.
Okay. I mean, that's all.
I'm going to put it at B because it does what it needs to do, which is successfully hype me up.
Right.
And I know after I heard it multiple times through Instagram and YouTube and whatnot, that I to myself would be like, go, like just as I'm doing stuff. And I'm like, yeah.
It's good. It's a good song. I don't know if it could beat a lot of those like legendary classics that it's up against, you know?
Well, like that's the thing. It could be a medium to low B. Like my B tier right now is Turbo, Lost Galaxy, Time Force, and Wild Force.
I just have Turbo and Wild Force, actually.
Like for me, do I think that Unworthy is better than Lightspeed? Yes. Ninja Storm? Yes. Dino Thunder? Yes. Dino Charge? Yes. Beast Morphers? Absolutely. Like
I understand what you're saying. I'm not sure I agree. That's why it's staying in C. I think it's in there with that.
That's fine.
So you would think that we're done, but they're on this list. There is 2 more. The next one is Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song, which I think is the theme song to Next Mutation, is what it is. Let me just click it to find out. Oh, that sounds terrible. I don't know what this is from. It's not from Next Mutation, which is what I thought it was going to be. It's the regular, like, late 80s, early 90s theme song, but I don't think that's the original singer. Or if it is, the mix is different.
It's 100% not. Yeah.
Because I think I'm a turtle. Like, yeah, that's an F right there. I don't know what that is. Not the original song, but and then the last one is Superpowered Beatdown, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song, which I don't even remember.
This.
Yeah.
This is like that long version, like the movie.
Yeah. So it better kick in hard because I'm getting bored right now. A lot of synthesizer and stuff, which I could take or leave depending on the song. Sounds like a techno remix.
It is.
It's like when they fight the Mortal Kombat characters.
No, they fought Street Fighter characters.
I know, but that's not what it... I don't want to listen to this. I would give this a D or an F. What about you?
I think it does the movie. I think it tries to do what the movie version does, but poorly.
Right. Well, I didn't like the movie version either, so that's, again, yeah.
I love the movie version. You just didn't like that it was a song.
What? No, I didn't like... What? I didn't like the movie version, and you said, I loved it. You didn't like that it was a song. What does that mean? I didn't.
It
like
was
that
a
it was
5-minute song. It wasn't a 1-minute intro.
That made it worse, but it had a super long intro, and then when it got to it, I was like, bleh, and then it was like, there's 4 more minutes of this? No.
Yeah.
No. You're allowed to love it.
I like it. I think what this was trying to do is what the movie did, where it tried to modernize a theme song, but make it longer. And the modernization of that was to make it EDM/techno, and it did not hit the mark.
All right. So agree to disagree. Well, I mean, you agree that it didn't hit the mark, but you like it better than I did. But it's not one of the official rankings, so it doesn't matter. We have some differences. I think for the most part, they're not huge differences. What is in your S slot right now?
My S slot is Mighty Morphin and Jungle Fury.
Okay, so I have Jungle Fury and In Space, so that's pretty close. And then your A slot?
Zeo, In Space, SPD.
So Zeo, SPD I have, In Space I have. So Lost Galaxy I have higher than you. And then your B slot, I think you just said, but go ahead and say it again.
Turbo, Lost Galaxy, Time Force, Wild Force.
Yeah, all of ours are within a tier of each other so far. None of them are like way crazy. And then we just went over the others. And then what's in your F slot?
My F is
RPM.
Mystic Force, RPM, and then I put Super Mega Force there, but we had talked
but that's
about
not doesn't count, right? So again, not as different as I thought we would be. There's definitely, I think for the most part, only one tier up or down from each other. And so we could agree that Jungle Fury is the absolute best and Mystic Force is the absolute worst, because those are the only two that we both agreed
undisputed,
were undisputed. Yeah. So the action activate, consensus of 2 is that Jungle Fury is top and Mystic Force is bottom. Everything else is a little bit debatable. And of course, these are just our opinions and don't have anything to do with the show content itself, just how much we enjoy these songs. I'm interested in the Ron Wasserman version of Mystic Force. I'm interested in whatever the other thing I was talking about, but this is an over an hour episode, so I think we got to wrap it up.
What I will say, final thoughts wise, this was really fun. Thank you for the suggestion for whoever it was. If you would like us to go over in a future episode, not necessarily dedicated to itself, but like at the end of one or something where we go over the Ron Wasserman Mystic Force mix. Heck, we even go over like Big Bad Beetleborgs, Metallics, the Masked Rider theme. Things Power Rangers adjacent. If you
Right.
liked this and want to see more, let us
Superhuman
know.
Samurai
And that's
Cyber
something.
Squad.
Yes, I love that theme. VR Troopers. Let us know in the comments. We'd be more than happy to, at the very least, consider it. And knowing us, probably do it. And
Right, and more
some weird way.
ideas for theme episodes as well. We're still watching SPD. We're gonna have another 2-parter review coming up soonish, but we're gonna keep interspersing these other ones in between. So I don't even know what the next one's going to be. It might be one of your suggestions. Maybe whatever you put in these comments will become the next one we do. Yes, I was going to say something else, but we're running out of time, so I will stop myself. I've been Gazbot.
I am the Big Dawg Defender.
Okay, and what do you want to go to?
The power.
Yeah,
the power.
The S power. All right, thanks for the suggestion. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, everybody. And I'm looking for the end credits, so I'm stalling and just talking. And why can't I find the end credits? I found them. Here they are. Thought for sure you were going to talk over the credits.
I think it's playing 2 like slightly time-lapsed versions of the credits because I heard way more music than I normally do.
Because of the. Remember, I was playing the music before, and on the
Do it
technical
live.
side,
We're doing it live.
it said if your guest might hear echoes, and you're like, I don't hear echoes. Remember that? Now you hear echoes. He's not frozen. He can't hold that forever.
I hate my commuter sometimes.
Okay, I might have found a sort of a janky workaround. Possibly. Let me
Cool,
see.
because for some reason, when I go share entire screen, my computer goes, I don't want you to do that. Why?
Okay.
You don't control me. I control you. This is not the Matrix.